Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back again with another trailer reaction. Again, we're a little late on this one, but that is okay. This is for The Witcher Season 3. Now, if you're curious, I reacted to both the first and second season of The Witcher on the channel already, so if you're interested in those reactions, definitely, I'll have them linked in the description down below. Watch those, have fun, it's a grand old time. I also have the first episode of the like 4-part Blood Origins thing. I only did the first episode because there just wasn't a lot of interest in that particular section of it because a lot of people said it was really bad. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't great. But season 3 is looking to be an interesting one for sure. I'm just very curious to see what route they go with this. Obviously there was all of that stuff with Henry Cavill, like that's its whole own saga, like this show and weirdly the DC universe are like tied together right now, like their fates are just have this messy connection, and it's so interesting because Henry Cavill is the connecting piece, and because of all of that jazz that happened with the DC stuff, this is Henry Cavill's last season in The Witcher. It's not exclusively because of that. He hasn't been a fan of some of the story choices that have been made over the last couple seasons, but I think the final nail in the coffin was the whole Superman shenanigans over at DC. And since this is his last season, they're not going to be ending the show, but he is going to be stepping away. And then Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, is stepping in to replace Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia. And I'm very curious to see how that will go. This very much could be a disaster. It could be really bad. Like, people might completely lose interest. People might hate the show. Or it could become one of those shows where, you know, they tell Geralt of Rivia stories for years to come, and you know, multiple different actors kind of take their turn portraying the character. That would be the preferable route, right? Like, you want this character to continue and for their stories to carry on, but we'll see how things go. Where we left in season 2, the Wild Hunt is coming. They are here to claim Ciri, and Geralt and Yennefer are, you know, trying their best to protect her. But the Wild Hunt is the Wild Hunt, and if you played The Witcher 3, you know they are a brutal gang. You know, they kill and they murder and they destroy. Two of those were the same word pretty much, but they I don't want to like spoil too much, but the Wild Hunt is pretty dope. You should play the Witcher games if you can. Either way, though, I'm excited to see what's coming, or get at least a brief tease of it here in the trailer. So we're going to jump into it. Before we do that, though, if you end up enjoying this reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me, helps my channel grow. If you're new here, or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to Season 3 of The Witcher, because obviously I will be. And then if you're interested in seeing full uncuts for anything I watch on the channel, including Season 3 of The Witcher, or any other show or movie that I watch, check out my Patreon that is linked in the description down below. That would mean the world. But otherwise, let's check out the official Season 3 trailer for The Witcher.
Neutrality. It won't get you a statue.
Tell that to Switzerland. Everyone knows Switzerland is neutral.
I won't abandon Ciri.
Good. You shouldn't.
Neutrality has consequences too.
Jasper's hair is so interesting.
You're right.
Definitely CGI blood.
Right. Well, that's deeply worrying.
Obviously it's CGI blood. I don't know why
Everything that's happening,
I made that comment.
it's all connected. And she's at the center of it.
Oh yeah, Ciri's dad is like alive and king and stuff,
Before
right?
it's coming, there is no hiding her from it.
sure about this?
Damn, girl.
Are you?
What it do? Shout it. This summer. Oh my god. Okay, upper body strength. Let's go. Ooh, there they are. The Wild Hunt.
History has a way of repeating itself. The dangers we've seen foretell an even more menacing future. For the first time, I understand real fear.
Yes, I'm excited to see Siri pop off. Oh my god.
We're witches.
Is that so?
I want to see her do some work. Oh, let's go.
I'll never get over how cute they look for monsters. And they're like, no, please don't hurt me. And then wow. Fangs. Just like a boatload of fangs. All up in your business.
Yeah, you never want fangs all up in your business. Oh, they're splitting it up into 2 parts. What did that say? June 29th and July 27th, so about a month apart. Very interesting to see them splitting it up a little bit. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that too, because it selfishly, as a content creator, it gives you a little bit extra time to watch these and not get like so far behind. Because sometimes with Netflix, you know, you get a lot of views in the first 1 to 2 episodes, and then it'll severely drop off because at that point you're 2 weeks roughly out from the show premiering, and Netflix, once you're 2 weeks out from a Netflix drop, Netflix does not care at all. They're like, immediate support of this show dropped because they have 9 other shows they have to put out within that next month. So selfishly, I like that I won't be, 8 episodes behind from the jump, which is pretty nice. I've always, if you're new to the channel, I've always been a big proponent of the weekly release. I love weekly release shows. I think they're just so much better than the binge model, especially in terms of long-term success and longevity of a show. Like, if it's even a remotely popular show. Like, a specific example right now that is airing currently on Apple TV Plus, Silo. If they had dropped all the episodes of Silo at once, it might have, faded into the wayside a little bit. It obviously would have had, like, support, but every week that show from word of mouth has gotten more and more and more viewers and more followers and more fans. And that I feel like that's just a proponent. Like, when good shows go under the radar and they gain that support by word of mouth, I think that's excellent. And so I've always been a fan of the weekly release. And so the fact that they are not doing a weekly release, but kind of doing a split in half, like, monthly release, I don't hate that. They've done this a couple of times for some of their other shows. They typically seem to do this for, like, their biggest shows, weirdly. Like, when they know a show is going to draw massive viewers for, like, Stranger Things or this or a couple of other shows, they'll do either, like, they'll drop, like, a couple episodes in one batch and then another couple episodes, like, a week or 2 later or whatever. But when they know they have, like, a massive show on their hands, they never do the binge model, which should show you that even Netflix themselves does not believe in the binge model and when it comes to, long-term success of their show. So I'm very excited that they're kind of splitting it up. As for the story content of the show, obviously Geralt and Yennefer are trying to protect Ciri from all these different entities and things that are coming after her, right? Like, obviously the biggest one is the Wild Hunt, right? They're they want her, they want her to become part of the Wild Hunt and use her power. But another entity that is going to be after her is probably her father, the king, the new king of what, Sintra is the country. I was going to say Ravka, but that's in Shadow and Bone. Sintra is the country in this one, and he had his like surprise reveal at the end, right? Like he was the ruler, like the white flame or white lotus or whatever the white something, white fang. No, that's Naruto, right? Like he was kind of this mystery figure that was kind of the vague big antagonist throughout the first 2 seasons. Like, who's running this evil country? You find out now at the end, it's Ciri's father. Right? And that makes sense why they've been going through all this effort to get her back. Maybe he should have just reappeared and been like, hey, I'm your dad's. Do you want to come hang out with me again? Like, I know rip to your mom and stuff, but like, I'm still alive. But instead he had to go about creating an evil country and waging war for her, you know? So maybe he's not a wholesome father figure for her, but he is definitely going to be probably a big player in this season because he had that dramatic reveal at the end of last season. I'm curious how they will handle the Henry Cavill stuff with him departing at the end of this season. For those of you who are uninitiated into this whole debacle, it is a big thing that factored in the DC universe and their movies, along with Henry Cavill, and now he's doing other stuff. And I'll try and recap it as best I can. So, separate from all the DC stuff, Henry Cavill already was not thrilled with a lot of the story decisions in the first 2 seasons of The Witcher, right? They had season 1 and season 2 that deviated heavily from the books that he's a big fan of. He's a big fan of the books and the Witcher lore. That's kind of Henry Cavill's whole thing, is when he's part of a project, he dives deep and is like a huge fan of it and is like a big nerd about it and cares a lot about keeping things not just like accurate, but like keeping to the heart of the story and respecting the property that they are involved with. And so he wasn't thrilled, essentially told them, you know, if we don't get things going in the right direction, I might be looking to bail. And then roughly around the same time, a whole lot of stuff with DC was going down, where they were trying to get DC was trying to get Henry Cavill back to play Superman. There's all these rumors and stuff, you know, Henry Cavill might be coming back, yada yada yada. There might be a big shakeup in continuity. They might be rebooting everything. Who knows? And then the Black Adam movie came out, and Henry Cavill appeared at the end of that movie as Superman, and it was like signaling he's back. Henry Cavill's back to play Superman. Because The Rock in his bid to essentially assert dominance over the DC universe and kind of take control of the DC universe, was like, hey, I'm gonna just bring Henry Cavill back. Like, that's just a decision I'm gonna make. Now, previously, the heads of DC were not stoked about this idea. They were like, we don't want Henry Cavill back. Like, we want to go different directions with all this. But The Rock was just like, you know what, it's happening. And he brought Henry Cavill back. And then there was this really weird, ambiguous will they, won't they that happened after that, where Henry Cavill posted on Instagram, roughly, you know, he gave enough spoiler buffer for the movie, obviously. But shortly after the movie came out, he posted on Instagram and was like, yep, I'm back as Superman. I'm very excited. Hopefully we're going to tell some great stories as Superman going forward. Like, let's do this, essentially. And then the kind of dicking around happened, where James Gunn and Peter Safran were appointed as the co-heads of DC Film, essentially DC Studios, and they decided that they were going to kind of completely reboot the DC universe, with the first official movie being Superman Legacy, starring a younger Clark Kent, younger Superman, and they decided that Henry Cavill would not be their Superman going forward, and at least it's just so, it was so interesting because at the time when Henry Cavill was like, I'm gonna be Superman again, he officially departed from The Witcher. And then they announced, Liam Hemsworth will be taking his place in The Witcher season 4, and season 5 and beyond, or however many seasons they make. Liam Hemsworth is the man going forward, right? Henry Cavill's Superman, he's got his own thing. Won't have time for The Witcher anyway. But then, yeah, James Gunn, Peter Safran, as the heads of DC, are like, Henry Cavill's not in the plans. And then Henry Cavill, now without a job, essentially, was like, well, frick. And he decided then that he would be making either a series or a film based on, obviously, his favorite property, and that is Warhammer 40K, which is like a tabletop RPG type game. There's also various other, video games and series and stuff about it, but I think he's going to be making a movie about it. And so I think that's what Henry Cavill is doing going forward. There's also all those rumors way back about him doing like a Mass Effect show or Mass Effect series. He had a Mass Effect script that he posted on Instagram at one point, so that's a possibility. But with his departure from The Witcher, that seems to be what is going to be happening with him going forward, is Warhammer 40K, at least that first. And then with this show, who knows what they're going to do. They could go the route of, obviously this season will include the Wild Hunt. They could go the route of following the games. Witcher 3 dealt heavily with that aspect of the story and kind of dealt with a somewhat older series and them reconnecting and stuff. I wonder, maybe they'll go that route for season 4 and season 5 of The Witcher. I don't know if the two other leads of the show are going to be sticking around for future seasons with the departure of Henry Cavill. I guess we will see about that. But either way, I'm excited for season 3. Hopefully you guys are excited. I loved the first 2 seasons of The Witcher. I thought it was a ton of fun. And I'm just pretty pumped to see, where they take the story. I'm not someone who read the books at all, so I don't really mind the the deviations from the source material. That's not a huge deal to me. As long as I am entertained by the show, I'm gonna keep watching. So that is my plan for now. Definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you going to stop watching The Witcher after Henry Cavill's gone? Are you gonna wait and see, how this season goes? Are you going to check out some of next season before you decide if you're going to jump ship or not? Very curious to see your opinions on that. What do you think is going to happen in this season? Have you played The Witcher 3? So do you know anything about like the Wild Hunt or anything like that? Again, definitely let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me, helps my channel grow. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to Season 3 of The Witcher. Lastly, if you are interested in seeing the full uncut reactions to anything I watch on the channel, including Season 3 of The Witcher, that is linked down in the description below on my Patreon. Your support over there would mean the absolute world. It is the best way to support me in general. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.